Somebody needs to break the wedding bells, just smash them on the ground, because this wedding drama is wild. It's cuckoo bonkers, some would say. Speaking of cuckoo bonkers, this hair. Guys, we're having some issues with our air conditioning unit right now in Toronto, and it's very hot, so if I'm sweating in these videos, ignore it, okay? Just ignore it. I'm roasty and toasty. Starting us off, calling off a wedding/relationship doubts during wedding planning. Oh boy. My fiance and I have been together for 6 years, engaged for 1 year, and our wedding is in less than a year. We have been planning our wedding and I have been extremely excited to do so, but it has led to more arguments than ever between us. We have always had issues in our relationship, but my fiance has been less supportive than ever. Recently, it's rare we go a night without fighting. I feel like my fiance has been extremely cruel lately, constantly arguing with me, being mean and rude to me, and saying really hurtful and mean comments to me. He constantly complains, has snarky tones, makes rude comments, and is always annoyed, sighing loudly and makes little digs randomly. He literally sighs, huffs, and puffs walking around. Literally says, ugh, when he has to do something. And if I ask him to do basic tasks instead of sitting down on the couch on his phone, he literally bickers back and starts an argument. I feel like he's constantly annoyed with me. Even when it should be a special night like my bridal hair and makeup trial and taking save the date pictures, he is so mean and never flirts with me. Our sex life is not as active as it used to be and could/should be. The worst part is he lies about what he says and does and tries to gaslight me. He demands I split rent with him 50-50, yet I am putting an exorbitant amount of money and my family's savings into this wedding for us. My fiance seems to be very ungrateful and unappreciative and has complained numerous times about the guest list, arguing with me that everyone wants to be invited and becoming very defensive. He keeps shaming me for not having enough bridesmaids and demands he has all the groomsmen he wants in the wedding party, regardless of my bridesmaid count. The examples are endless. I'm just not sure what is the worst. I'm at a point where I do not want to do any more planning because I want to take a break. But it's too early to know if we can work it out or if we should officially call the wedding off. Edit. The majority of comments support the same response. Unfortunately, I feel reassured in my decision to call it off and move on. Well, damn, you don't even need the advice anymore. But truly, I mean, that was my advice. My advice was to, you can stay and keep trying for sure, but it just is clear. It's very clear that it's not a happy or healthy relationship and you're expressing all these wants and needs that aren't being met. And you don't want to go into a marriage like that. You're signing up for life with that person. No. Cancel the wedding? That's not a good start. My fiance, 28 male, and I, 26 female, are planning to get married in May of 2026. We started dating 2 years ago. He moved into my apartment 5 to 6 months together. I thought this was the right thing to do at the time. We both agreed. Everything was truly smooth. I really thought I knew him so well. We clicked off the bat and have been really close for the last year. When I quit my demanding job last year, he fully supported me, which I appreciated, especially being away from family and friends. I deal with anxiety and depression. I see a therapist, take medication, and I try to do everything I can to better myself. Hygiene, physical activity, spending time with friends and family. When we first met, he had recently moved back to our state and was not working. To be clear, I am not the type of person to disregard someone for financial reasons. I can make my own money and be my own person. Also, if I like you, then I like you, and I'll do anything to be with you if that interest and effort is there. So he moves in at the 6-month mark. Things were good, but I feel like I've been wearing rose-colored glasses, looking over things that I genuinely don't enjoy about my partner. He makes remarks that he thinks are funny, even though they could be hurtful. Some examples like racial, homophobic, misogynistic remarks, alcoholic jokes, etc. Yeah, I've already lost interest in that person. This is something I've ignored/enabled, but has become a really hard thing for me to listen to daily, especially as we get closer to our wedding date. I'm not fond of being treated like a roommate, a guy friend, or a mother figure to someone who is almost 30 years old. I've even told him personally that my family has been through alcoholism and to not make those kinds of jokes, and he still makes those jokes 2 years later at family functions. The blatant disrespect. Perfect. How romantic. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want my family to be uncomfortable. And I certainly don't want to raise my future children around that, knowing that they will model his behaviors for them if he doesn't change. He consistently talks over me, does not listen to my needs, and does not think about me in a way that a fiance should. I am constantly cleaning up after him. He calls me his secretary as a joke, just because I'm the one that will write out our calendar, do the to-do list, grocery lists, etc. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary last week, the week before we bought a house with both of our names on the mortgage, and I'm starting to freak out. I'm freaking out for you, if I'm being fully honest. I haven't sent the save the dates yet because he hasn't gotten the addresses to me that I've been asking for weeks. He will consistently leave his dirty laundry, dirty dishes, etc. everywhere. I'm not the person that can deal with clutter and trash. I need a safe and clean place to come home to since I work a very emotionally demanding job, and this just doesn't cut it anymore. A few weeks ago, I went on a girls' trip. I cleaned our then apartment up and down and got ready for moving out. I came back on that Sunday and it was completely trashed. His rabbit, yes, we have a rabbit. It's not weird. No one said it's weird. Chewed through my entire couch and ate our apartment floorboards. Every time I try to bring up that I need help and that I can't do this alone, I give examples of things that I need help with, and yet I'm still the one doing everything in the relationship. Like I said, last week was our 2-year anniversary, and I asked why it was treated like any other day. I asked that maybe for our first wedding anniversary that some flowers or dressing up for dinner would be fun. He told me, I thought about getting you flowers on the way home from work, but I didn't, and I don't know why. Because he didn't want to. I told him that we should look into marriage counseling because something isn't feeling right. He said that, quote, he doesn't want to because he doesn't like the idea of it. And I'm sitting here thinking that we need to do something because I've done all I can and I don't know what to do anymore. Am I crazy thinking that helping with cleaning the house, being open to conversation, trying to ignite the spark again will help the situation? I thought this was basic in any relationship, so why am I not getting this from my fiance? I don't feel heard, seen, or appreciated. I don't feel pretty. I don't feel loved. We had a talk last night and I told him that I want to postpone the wedding planning until we figure things out because I don't want to be a single partner and mother in a full-blown marriage for life. I can't do that to myself. Please lend me some advice. Girl, I don't even think you need advice. I think you know exactly how you feel, exactly what you want, and exactly what you're not getting. Your hands are kind of tied if he's not willing to work on it. That's really the only saving grace. If he's willing to take accountability and work on those things, whether that's therapy or not, and actually make some genuine change. Do not sign up for marriage if it's like this. You don't even want that. You've said it yourself. Millionaire cousin with tasteless wedding gift. I'm so intrigued. What could it be? A millionaire cousin? Like a jar of pickles? Oh, I would be thrilled. I'm pickle rich! I would be thrilled. If you're a millionaire though, like, can there be like a crystal on the jar or something? I recently got married and had the time of my life. We had a small intimate reception at a beautiful venue that cost us around $15,000 for everything. My cousin, who is one of my closest friends, was a guest at the wedding. We hang out on a monthly basis and she has a young daughter who I'm close to. We are both in our mid-30s. My aunt is extremely wealthy, like multi-millionaire status. Can't relate. This has been passed down to my cousin who lives in a mini mansion attached to my aunt's house. My cousin is a doctor and has done some public work on a large scale. So on top of her mom paying all of her bills and living completely free, she herself has become very wealthy. I, on the other hand, grew up with parents who lived paycheck to paycheck, and they have both passed. Oh, that's terrible. I've never had anything handed to me and have had a job since I was 14 years old to pay for everything. I've never asked anyone for help and I've never received any help in my family. Now that I've painted the backstory, let's get to what this post is about. For my wedding gift, my cousin gifted me one plastic teacup and a box of tea that I found for $2.99 at TJ Maxx. When I opened her card, I thought for sure she would have put some cash in there, but none. I even found it odd to gift a couple a single teacup, not even a set. Now, I'm not the type to talk about gifts in this manner. I have friends who live paycheck to paycheck who I specifically asked not to get me anything for my wedding because I know that it would hurt them financially, but seeing my wealthy cousin's gift has me dumbfounded. Not to mention, every time she has a party, she requests me to bring some high-end food and has high-end requests for her daughter's birthday gifts. I even planned her baby shower, supplying most of the food, planning all the games, and buying gifts for the games. I make a modest living, but I am not well off by any means. I just can't get over her tasteless gift. It seems so selfish and that she has no respect for even me after how deep I thought our relationship was. I'm not sure what to do about moving forward. I'm not going to address this, but I think I want to cut ties with hanging out with her outside of family events. Looking for anyone's thoughts about this. Obviously, it's odd. It's very confusing, for sure, when someone does come with the means and the finances to provide a gift. Even if the gift was like $50, that's more than a teacup and a box of tea that's $2.99. I feel like you're the type of person who it's not even about the price tag, but also who it's from and what you do for them in your relationship with them, your friendship with them, their family. You go above and beyond for her daughter and for her baby shower. I feel like it's more that it's coming from this person specifically, not even about the price tag. That's a very odd wedding gift though. One plastic single teacup and a box of tea. I love tea, so I'd be happy with it, but like not even, what about my partner? What about the groom in the partnership? They probably don't like tea anyway. Let me know your thoughts on this, you guys. I'm curious and nosy. Friend's wedding almost ruined by fishnets? Never thought I would hear wedding and fishnets in the same sentence. I'm an insanely amateur photographer. I'm not trying to make it a full-time gig, but I love taking pictures. Last year at my old job, a coworker, I'll call her Elle, I'm a really good friend, and they were having a small wedding and asked if I could take pictures as a wedding gift to her. Of course, I said yes. I like this woman. She's like an older sister to me. We also had a friend and coworker, B, who couldn't make it to the wedding as she would be on a family vacation. Relevant in the next paragraph. Okay, we're clocking coworker B. Okay, we can't keep using all these letters. How? I'm not gonna remember. Okay, you know what? I'm creating names. L is gonna be Lucy. B is gonna be Brittany, like Britney Spears. And S is gonna be Susie. Lucy, Susie, and Brittany. We had this older mutual coworker named Susie who was interesting. She loved to trauma dump and kind of latch onto people and just spill her guts and make kind of uncomfortable jokes, like about stuff you shouldn't joke about. She was invited and was going around telling everyone that Lucy told her she needs to help with the wedding and such since Brittany won't be there, and something about being in the wedding party. And Lucy was like, okay, not true, but you can come help, I guess. Another initial, J. I would use Joss, but I don't want to confuse all of you guys. My teen, Jessica, was also invited and is my helper. So we went early to help set up and take some practice pictures of everything. And everyone there is just kind of doing their own thing. Lucy has this gorgeous white dress that has a deep, almost emerald green vines going up from the bottom. Oh. The bridesmaids are all in equally beautiful green dresses, so you know the vibe is this deep green and white. Her dress sounds stunning. The wedding starts. Lucy walks down the aisle looking gorgeous, accompanied by her two sons, and here comes Susie carrying her train in this loud pink/black and various other colored dress and fishnet stockings. That's where the fishnets come in. Okay. Lucy gets to the front, turns around, and sees Susie, says something, and then Susie stomps away, shaking her head. Turns out, Susie wasn't supposed to carry the train. No one was. Lucy even told her beforehand, at the door before she walked out, to let go and swatted her hand because she was standing there holding it. So naturally, there's pics of the three of them, Lucy and her two sons, walking down the aisle, and Susie behind them where she wasn't supposed to be. Cut Come to find out, she was bugging Lucy all morning as well. Thankfully, I was able to edit her out of most of the pictures, but still, I had no idea otherwise I would have found a way to stop it. But what's done is done. Lucy called me about a week later to vent because Susie really bothered her, and when I found out about how she was driving Lucy crazy all morning, like hovering, etc., and how she wasn't even supposed to be part of the procession and carrying the train. That boggles my mind though. Who in their right mind would just take on that role? Even though they've said no, let go, I don't want you holding my train? Who does it anyway? That's absurd. Cuckoo bonker behavior right there. We're hopping on hydration station and I have a red Solo cup in hand. It's one of my fun plastic ones though, from Dollarama. Not like the red cups from our teenage days. I miss those days. Every time I have a red cup, I'm like, remember when I was young? Cheers. Drink your water. It's more fun when it's in a red cup though, I will be honest. I'm not used to a red cup with just water in it. It was vodka. Next up, friends are planning to get married on my fiance's 40th birthday trip without asking us first. My fiance is turning 40 this year, and to celebrate his big day, we booked a large vacation house in a resort area for a long weekend and invited 4 other couples to come and celebrate for the weekend. We are paying for lodging for everyone. Oh, damn. But they are expected to pay for flights. I'm planning a weekend of brunches and dinners and activities for everyone on this birthday trip. One of those couples we invited has decided to stop in Vegas on the way home and elope to get married. They are expecting everyone on the trip to stop in Vegas too, get hotel rooms in Vegas, and attend their wedding. I understand why they are doing this. Neither of them have any close family, and they are probably thinking that they will already have their friends in one place. We are all gay men, so chosen family is a big thing. Example, many gays prioritize friends because they aren't as close with their biological family due to prejudice. However, I can't help but be annoyed because I feel like a weekend that's supposed to be a birthday celebration for my fiance, which we spent so much money, time, and energy on, has been commandeered for their wedding. It is really bizarre because I feel like I'm essentially planning their wedding for them since they are going on our weekend and then getting married at a random Vegas chapel on a Monday. My fiance is one of the nicest and most generous people I've ever met. He would never confront them about this because this isn't his nature. He did tell them that we won't be joining them in Vegas because neither of us can take the extra days off, which is true because we're both maxed on vacation for the year. I haven't said or done anything about this. I'm wondering if I'm being an a-hole here or if my feelings are justified. I'm also wondering if I should do something. I'm really curious to hear the internet's thoughts, and we will provide the thoughts, baby. Always. We speak our mind on this channel. I understand your feelings. I understand theirs as well with being like, oh, all our friends are in the same spot. Perfect time for us to have a wedding. I get the thought process there. I feel like it would have been a lot even if they just talked to you about it first. They're still going to do the wedding because they're like, we're going to do what we're going to do. But would a conversation have helped? Would a conversation still help now by just telling them how you feel about it? I don't know. I don't really think there's much you can do at this point though, right? Let me know what you guys would do. If it was like your wedding trip and then they got married on the tail end, I might feel a little more heightened about that, but it's a birthday. I don't know. My initial reaction is it doesn't feel like a huge big deal to me, but I also understand that. I understand where it can be annoying. 12-month-old twin nieces are not invited. Sister-in-law and mother-in-law are arguing. Here goes nothing. I, 32 female, and my future husband, 34 male, are getting married in 4 months. My sister-in-law, Amy, has twin girls that will be 12 months old and a 6-year-old son. Prior to the twins being born, I had a conversation with Amy where she said to me she was looking forward to knowing at the 12-month mark there would be a child-free evening where she could let loose and she didn't want her kids there. I said that we would love to have her 6-year-old as the flower boy, and we agreed, and that he would join and be part of the ceremony and then be driven the short distance home to join his sisters with a babysitter during the reception. Fast forward to now. Amy is shopping for dresses for the twins for the wedding day. I was confused to hear about it and I asked why. Amy seems to have forgotten our conversation and now wants her twins at the wedding. I've been gentle, but I have said that it was only the 6-year-old that was planned to be there, and I wasn't too keen on the younger kids being there. Mother-in-law and sister-in-law are upset with my future husband and I about this decision. Mother-in-law has pushed for the whole family to be in the photograph family portraits on the day, as the whole family will be together and dressed nicely. Sister-in-law has said, your family deserves to be at your wedding, and has also said she doesn't want the 6-year-old to be attending events without the twins because he has had trouble adjusting to them and is always asking to leave them behind. Sister-in-law doesn't want to encourage that behavior by having him attend anything without them. And so she has said that either all of her kids come or none will. The conversation was tense and I'm very conflict avoidant. I left it there, unresolved. The future husband doesn't want the twins there as they do summon a considerable amount of attention, and he wants people focused on us. I don't really care if they are there or not, and I do feel like I've been dismissed by my sister-in-law and mother-in-law, and they've tried to change plans without letting me know, and then tried to guilt trip me when I called it out. Now it kind of feels like an ultimatum is being set, and the whole attitude around it has me wanting to put my foot down and push back. Future husband and I offered up some compromises. We are having a gathering with all the same people the night before the wedding, and all of their side of the family will be around for the morning after the wedding. We said the twins would be so welcome there and we would be able to get some great photos and have time together, but we would still have our wedding child-free, without exception of the flower boy. But this was completely dismissed. I just want to know if I'm overreacting by saying they can't attend. Personally, I don't think so, and that's because I just think it's your wedding. It's your wedding. This day is not for them. It's not for their children. This day is for you and your husband. It's your wedding. If you don't want babies there or kids there, and you said we had this deal, there was one exception, I agree with people choosing if they want a child-free wedding or not. It's your decision. It's your wedding. Why do people have to argue with it? Like, okay, I'm respecting that this is your day and your decision. I understand it sucks. If you wanted your children there and they can't be there, of course, and it's not easy to find a babysitter, I get it. It's their day. Feel like they either compromise or leave it in their hands. If you say it's child-free, that's up to them if they want to show up for you without the kids or not. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Did you guys have a child-free wedding? Pretty sure every wedding I've gone to in the last few years, most of them, like 90% of them have been child-free. Should the bride's brother be a groomsman? My fiance and I did not list my brother as a groomsman, and it's causing some drama. My fiance and I are not close with my brothers, so when we originally made the list of our bridal party, my brother was not on it. Okay. Yes. Depends on your relationship with your brother. However, my sister and my fiance's sister are both bridesmaids because I am very close with his sister. My fiance also has a brother who will be his best man. I asked my brother on the phone if he would care, and he insisted that he didn't. I even said I would love for him to walk our mom down the aisle and to do a reading. My brother is also engaged, so I told him I don't want his fiance to think that she has to make me a bridesmaid just because I'm his sister. I'm also not close with her. A little while later, I texted him and asked if he's sure he's not upset. No response. His fiance told me she was having me and my sister as bridesmaids, and that my brother was having my fiance as a groomsman, regardless of how close they are, out of respect. Ooh, oh, that makes it so much worse. No, you don't have to have me in your wedding, but just know I'm having both of you out of respect, even though we're not that close. Okay. When my brother finally responded to me, I could tell it was his fiance texting me from his phone based on how he normally texts me. They said that we should cut out friends from the bridal party before family and told us to have a great weekend along with other passive aggressions. Now both of my parents and my grandma are upset with me and think I am excluding my brother. My mom is barely talking to me, and my dad and grandma have cried over this and are pissed off at me and my fiance. My grandma told me she doesn't want to know any more details about my wedding. It's been extremely hurtful to some of the things they have all said to us. We truly have been trying to battle this with kindness, but it's hard. I feel like I was still trying to find a way to include my brother, despite us never getting along, or my fiance and I not being close with him. Are we wrong? My fiance has been sick to his stomach over this and keeps saying he feels like this is his fault. We just both thought groomsmen should be the closest people to the groom. I also was never planning on having my brother's fiance to be a bridesmaid, and I feel like she expects me to, you. We are just extremely confused as to why my brother is having my fiance as a groomsman, because we would have never guessed that. That's tricky. That's really tricky. Ultimately, it is your day and your choice, and I agree. A wedding party should be the closest people to you. I understand why some people in your family would be hurt or bothered by that because it's family. That's a really tricky, and it's worse that now they're choosing you to be in the wedding. That made it 100% more difficult. It made you look really bad. It really did. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.